Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Progetto 46. It's the Tier 8 Italian Premium Medium. It's located on the westboard of Studzianki and it's under the command of Darneepigoo. I think I've got the name right this time. Well, he's in the Roger clan anyway. Let's see how he gets on in the Italian auto reloader. Game started. Well, as many of you know, this tank has a 90mm gun with an auto reloader. The shells do 240 alpha, penetrating to 12mm with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds it'll go up to 259. And we can see that Darneepigoo has actually already loaded a full clip of the APCR. He's going for the premium rounds right away. Now that will cost him towards the end of the game, I should think. But he might get better results in the initial stages of the game, and it really is about making sure you survive long enough to actually get a lot of damage, and hopefully then you'll survive towards the end of the game. He is probably one of the best players on his team at the moment, I don't mind saying that. And well, he's found an enemy tank. It's a T-34B, that's the black version of the premium American Heavy. Now, he's aiming at a Tiger P, but he can't see it because the wall's in the way. If he did fire, it probably would go through the wall, but he might lose some penetration value. So, rather than actually shooting, he's pulled back. Now, as you know, with the auto reloaders... Oh, that was an Arty round. Somebody did see him and tried to get him. There's 3 Arty on the enemy team. The auto reloaders, they load in sequence, so if you fire one shot, then it will load one shot. If you fire 2, it will load 2, but it varies the time on how long it takes to actually load based on which shell it is in the sequence. As you can see, he's loading the third, well, he's actually chosen to go straight to AP now, so he's unloaded all of the shells and had to start all over again. The first shell took 9 seconds, the second one 8.4, and the third one, well, it's actually the third one's 8.4, sorry I got that wrong. It's normally in sequence 10.35 seconds, then 7 seconds, 7.7, and then 6.9. So he's gone back to the standard shells, and that means he won't be paying so much when he shoots this ammo. It's actually quite a good way of doing it, actually. I must admit, I prefer to do it this way. I don't like firing premium unless I absolutely have to. Well, that one hit the tank, but it didn't do any damage. In fact, 2 shots hit, 1 didn't, and neither of them did any damage. I would have thought that he probably would have been able to take that Leo down with at least one of those shots, but the guy is moving up, and now he's out the game. Good. That was worth firing that round, even though it's the only one that he'd loaded into the mag. Okay, we've got 2 enemy tanks moving up, IS of 3 actually. He gets around into the Challenger, but from this position he's actually it's a fairly good defensive position. He's got buildings which will actually block their shots. Gets a nice shot into the IS using the bush mechanic. When he pulls back though, he actually ran into that building, which might tell the enemy Arty where he is. You want to be careful about that because you don't want to give any clues away to the enemy, but he has pulled forward, so even if the enemy fired at the house, he wouldn't hit him. Okay, he's pulled forward to get a shot at the IS. Unfortunately, he didn't get the kill. Was he spotted? No, he wasn't. Good. The IS actually went down to the M12 in the end, who's, well, he's just behind Darneepigoo. Oh, GSOR. Got around into his tracks. Fired another one and didn't get that one. Last shell. Got some damage off that one, but the other 2 didn't. Well, only got the track. First shell in. He fires it in again. Only gets tracking damage. But, well, at least the GSOR is now out the game. Now, one of the things on Studzianki, in fact on both sides, on both ends of the map, there are houses in the cap area, and you should destroy these because we've seen in previous battles that have been sent up to us at What Arty Noobs, it is possible for a tank to hide behind that house and avoid detection by the enemy. In fact, we have one KV2 came up, sat behind the house, was never spotted the entire game, and he got a Raider Invader medal. 2 good hits into the Centurion, and he goes down to the Carnarvon on our team. That was the Australian Centurion, the 5-1, the premium one. He's doing not bad at the moment. Knocked all those trees down, which again will give Arty a clue as to where he is, but he's pulled away from that spot, so even if Arty does fire, he's not going to get anything out of it. There's the M12 that got the kill on that IS. Oh, now that the enemy tank, the T-34B, was right in the centre of the factory on the railway line. Unfortunately, he didn't. He lost sight of him as he was moving up. I don't think knocking those trees down is going to be a hindrance to the Lorraine. In fact, actually, it might protect the Lorraine a certain bit, because yes, it's a Lorraine 15550 behind him. But the enemy might see the tracer coming from that spot. And there's the T-34B. He's actually come out the other side, and he's now facing, or is he? No, he's not actually. I'm wrong. It's the other. He's the other side of the factory. I'm not looking at the minimap. I brought the minimap up in size to see what was going on and totally got it wrong. That the T-34B is actually the other side of the factory. I thought he was coming through, but he's gone the other way round. Now, can he get shots on this? Is it pushing? No, it's a Patriot. Sorry. Yes, he gets 2, but only 1 hits the tracks. He's letting it reload to increase his DPM. You get much higher DPM if you only fire 1 or 2 rounds. If you fire all 3, then you decrease the DPM of the machine. So it's actually better just to fire a couple of shots and then pull back. Nice one through the side. Couldn't get it reloaded in time. Interclip shots 2 seconds each. And that can be quite long. It's nowhere near as fast as, say, the TVP 250-51, which intraclip is only 1.5 seconds, and that means you can get shots like that into the target. He would have been able to hit that Patriot with 2 rounds if it had been a TVP. Tried to get the T-44, who's pulling back. The Patriot's still there, but he's now hiding behind an indestructible building, so there's not a lot we can do about that for the moment. He's fully loaded, ready to go. Now, I suspect that there is going to be enemy tanks to the east of him. He can see that T-44, pulls back to use the bush mechanic, gets a nice shot in. 1 in, can he get another 1 in? Yes, he does. And a 3rd one. He's getting good hits here. And he avoided knocking that tree down, which will prevent the enemy Arty working out where in these bushes he is. Can he get another shot on the TVP? Pulls back for the bush mechanic and... yes, gets the kill shot this time. So far, 3 kills. Oh, he spotted one of the enemy Arty. It's a Crusader, but he's right up against the embankment of the railway. And therefore we can't see him because he's basically below the embankment. He's in defilade. The Crusader's moved up. He's just the other side of the hill. This cop's right at the top of the map. And Darneepigoo has decided he's going to go for it. He's going to try and get that Arty. There's only 5 enemies left. He knows where 2 of them are. There's one, and he kills him. T-34, yes, gets one through the turret. Go for the kill. He gets it. That's 5 kills. He's 1 short of getting a Top Gun. And the enemy Arty tried to get him there and failed. Potentially, he's got 20% of the enemy hit pool. That came up as well. Oh, the Crusader is firing close. And I suspect he's got the 4.5-inch gun, the short gun, because those shots were coming in rather quickly. And he only did 213 hit points of damage with that round. But that means Darneepigoo is going to come under fire from that quick firing Arty, which is basically the same as the Burt with the shotgun. It's not quite as fast as the Burt, but it does have a very quick fire rate and can be fairly deadly at short range. And of course that's the only Arty in the game that can fire as it's running away from you. And I've done that and taken out enemy tanks in the process. I can tell you, it's very effective. Okay, just the other side of this embankment should be the Crusader, but no, he didn't spot him. Which means he's pulled back to the woods. He didn't get spotted either. So obviously the Crusader is hiding in the woods far enough back that he couldn't see Darneepigoo when he popped up over the railway line. Now he's pulled back towards the factory where the Carnarvon is. The enemy team has still got a TS5, the American Tier 8 premium tank destroyer, with a 120mm gun, which is capable of doing serious damage to anyone. And he was seen that time, so there is somebody who can see him, and I think it's the TS5 that spotted him. And there's the RT shots coming in afterwards. So the TS5 did the quick bit of spotting, and the Crusader responded. There's an M12 out there as well. We don't know where he is, but I would hazard a guess that he's somewhere further south. Now I wonder if Darneepigoo's doing this because he wants to get round behind the enemy and come up from the other angle. Come up from the south rather than coming in from the north. They think he's still here. And if he actually goes south and comes around, they're going to be pointing the wrong direction. Especially the TS5, which is a traditional tank destroyer with the gun at the front, the pointy end at the front, and of course the rear of it is undefended. If he can get behind that guy, and I think he's in the woods at the back, in which case he can approach quite happily here without being spotted. And no sixth sense has gone off, so yep, he's perfectly correct, he's got it right. So if he goes down to near the water tower, then makes the quick dash across the gap to the far east side of the map, and the TS5's been found. He was in the trees. The Crusader on our team went in too deep. He got found. So Darneepigoo's going to go up onto this bank and shoot at the TS5. Lost sight of him temporarily. Now he'll probably get spotted any second. He's making a quick dash. There's the M12. Stops to take the shot. 2 shots to do it. Gets the kill. That's his top gun. There's only 2 left. And there's the Crusader. And yes, he is using the shotgun, which is the Burt gun. Unfortunately, he's got to wait for the long reload, which means the TS5 got around into him. Goes for the kill. Gets it. Now he needs to motor. He's got a Pascucci's, but the TS5 managed to get 2 rounds into him. And they were both heat rounds as well. He needs to get behind these houses so that the TS5 can't fire again. He's gone unspotted. It's just the TS5 now, facing 4 opponents. The Arty's even coming in. They know that this is the end game. We're only seconds away from the win. There's the TS5. He's been found. We lose the range. But now he just needs to pump these rounds into the TS5, who's on fire. Now he's trying to find the weak spots. There are very few weak spots except the side of that vehicle, and he got it. And that is a Radley Walters. And just look at those 2 holes from the heat rounds that went in the side. Oh dear. He's got the win. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this game. And here's the end of battle results. And oh my god, it's a good one. Look at this. He's got his first ace tanker in the Progetto M35 Mod 46. You know it's the first one because he's got the scrolls underneath the M, and you only get that the first time on this replay site. He got a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10 in total. But he got some epic medals and battle hero medals as well. He got a Pascucci's medal for killing 2 enemy Arty, the M12 and the Crusader SP. He got a Radley Walters medal as well for getting 8 enemy kills. He got all 8 in the end, the 8 that were remaining at the moment. at that time. He also got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, and finally he got a patrol duty for getting at least 6, for being the only one spotting at least 6 enemy tanks whilst they were damaged. And his win rate from the battle was 9,653, which is Super Unicum standard. But let's have a look at the team score and see where he stands. Well, he missed out on the high caliber, but only just. I'm afraid the person who actually got the high caliber was the TS5 right at the end. He got a Pascucci's, high caliber and a Top Gun for 4,457 hit points. So those 2 shots that he fired into Darneepigoo actually gave the high caliber away. Rather a pity, but there was not a lot that he could do other than try and drive very, very quickly for the bush. And that would have prevented the TS5 from shooting at him whilst he was shooting at the Crusader SP. That might have been the answer, but as it is, I don't think you'll worry about that too much. It was only a couple of hundred hit points in it. 4,297 for Darneepigoo. The next high score after him was in fact the T-34B on the enemy team, who got a patrol duty for 3,580 hit points. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 8 kills. The TS5 had 6, and then there's 2 kills each for the Carnarvon, the Tiger 1 and the T-26E5 Patriot. And when it came to base XP, yes, Darneepigoo's the only one to get over 1,000. In fact, he got 1,705, which is a rather high base XP, which shows that his performance was well more than enough for an ace tanker. In fact, quite a bit more. And the next high scorer was the Carnarvon on his own team with 980. He got a Confederate and the Steel Wall out of that game. And the next high score after that was the M12 on his own team with 844. We look at details, we can see he fired 33 rounds in that game, got 29 direct hits and 22 penetrations, damage of 4,297 hit points, of which 2,894 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy, 2 of them penetrated. Those were the shots that came in from the TS5 heat rounds. They went straight through the sides of this vehicle, which aren't that strong. They're only 13 millimeters of armor at the sides, so obviously using a heat round was overkill by the TS5. He should have just used standard AP. He would have easily got through the side of a Progetto, but he wanted to rub it in. He loaded the gold and fired it in. Unfortunately, both went through, and that effectively managed to win him the high caliber. So at least he got the achievements award, even if it meant that Darneepigoo missed out on the high caliber. 6 hits received by way of splash damage. Yes, the enemy Arty was persistent, but most of the time they couldn't work out where he was. That Crusader tried twice. He did actually get hit by that Crusader when he started shooting at the M12, because Crusader suddenly realized the guy was behind him, turned around and started lobbing shells in his direction. 5 enemy vehicles spotted, 12 enemy vehicles damaged, so there was only 3 enemy vehicles he didn't touch in the entire game, and 8 enemy vehicles killed. That's more than half. He carried the stupids, you might say, in this game. 2,608 hit points of spotting assist during that game. That's a lot of spotting, and that's again helped him get the ace tanker. On a premium count, he earned 143,580 credits. That's a very high score. Reflects the amount of damage he did as well. And after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, and because he switched back to standard AP at the start of the battle after loading the gold, he actually made a profit of 68,119 credits, even though he actually used premium consumables and also did use some premium rounds. 2,557 XP, 256 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,813 experience points altogether. So a particularly good round with the Progetto, and it just goes to show that if you've got the tank in the right hands, this tank can be really deadly. And he handled it very well tactically as well. He didn't go barging in, chasing after that Crusader. If he had, he would have come straight up against the TS5 at fairly close range, and that might have been fatal for him. So what he did by circling around and trying to come at them from a different direction actually paid him dividends. The only mistake, as I see it, as I mentioned this already, was that he tried to cross the open ground and saw the M12 and stopped to shoot at him. What he should have done is charge right across the ground, get behind them, get behind the enemy, put the enemy Arty between the TS5 and him, because obviously he knew where the TS5 was after the Carnarvon found him. If he put those Arty between him and the enemy, the TS5, he wouldn't have been shot in the side, and he would have got the shots and killed those Arty and then been able to deal with the TS5 afterwards. But yes, you can forgive all those errors in judgment at the time, because he did win the game. He got the Radley Waters, he got the Pascucci's, and he got his first ace tanker. So congratulations to Darneepigoo. I hope I haven't butchered your name again. I think I'm getting used to it. I'm going to have some more replays from this gentleman very shortly. So, there's fairly old games as well from, as I said, 3 years ago and 5 years ago. So you'll get to see that this guy has actually been in the game quite a long time, and he's actually quite good. So I hope you enjoy those as well. If you enjoyed this one, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below because it feeds the YouTube algorithms. And of course the Rumble one as well. And thank you for watching.